Today is Tuesday, January 27th, 2026, episode 16, I believe. Maybe 17, I don't know, 6, 7. Today was actually a pretty boring day, and let me show you why it mattered. First, let's get into the context of today. Let's go into the chart. You guys will see the trade that I took right there. But why don't we start with what kind of day it was. Today was very much a range type of day. So let's hide these drawings first. Go into the replay mode, our lovely replay mode. Let's go to the market open. And I forgot that I don't have that. So let's go to the market open right over here. And today, obviously, we're trading New York session. I believe that today was one of the best days in the year, if not the best day of the year, the cleanest price action. I did not expect it to be that type of day because it was a very extended day already for what I ended up taking. However, I expected us to, continue this overall bullish trend. So let's go to the hourly here just to take a look. Obviously, the hourly will give it away, but that's all right. No problem. Just so you guys can see a little better, let's skip this final hourly candle that's going on. We had internal highs right here. These are previous week highs where they were not taken out multiple times throughout the rest of the weeks, even after through this giant bearish gap, all of this to a bullish move. Even through the Asia session, we still edged those highs. So obviously my drawn liquidity is just simply right there. Followed by that, I had a bullish bias simply because we continued respecting bullish order flow. I mean, we made a retrace after rallying like crazy yesterday, and we didn't see us continue trading lower. We actually saw us trading higher upon the Asia session open. What is this telling me? It's telling me that we're trying to seek a higher time frame objective, which in this case would be the weekly highs, and then maybe potentially towards the end of the week, these other daily highs closer to all-time highs. Let's get into the lower time frame though now with the decision logic of why I took this trade. So in the morning, I saw this simply. I took a look at it early in the morning. I ended up seeing a very obvious two scenario case where we either wanted to trade lower into this overextension and rebalance it, or we wanted to trade higher and then continue filling out these objectives. Let's take a look at the objectives that we wanted to put. First off, going into the 4-hour, we have a very clear 4-hour gap right here. Super obvious. If this is the point of continuation, we're going to tap into it and then continue higher. If there's a point of reversal, we're going to go into it and then trade lower. Not respecting it. ES, essentially the same story. I have ES on the side here just for SMTs and also for understanding. ES, essentially, you could have taken a trade on ES and it would have been equally as good. ES, however, did have hourly gaps instead of a very clear 4-hour gap. Now, going into the lower time frame, heading closer and closer to the market open, and I am unsure why the bar skipped, but anyways, I ended up taking two trades today. One was break even, and I feel like it was a little bit of a rush trade, but I saw yesterday we had a very similar rush trade on the 30 seconds, so I thought I would jump in given the closure that we had was a good entry, and I had a pretty obvious break even point. Volatility was high and everything. Anyways, my plan for today was the following. We either wanted to see us go down into this 4-hour gap, trade higher, retrace, and then continue higher. Or we wanted to trade down into this 4-hour gap, trade out of it ideally, retrace into some type of internal PD array, internal direction, and then continue lower into the Asia session lows all the way down here. Those were my two scenarios. And I ended up taking obviously this initial scenario because we can see that price opens up on the New York market open. This is 924, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we open at 929. We have very clear, trend line liquidity right here. We have these weekly highs up here too. It was just very, very, very obvious that that's where we wanted to go. Now, I believe that my initial trade was a little bit rushed. However, I'm not mad about it. I would still take it. I did take half risk because it was so quick and I couldn't really manage my position size accordingly. And so let's get into that. We see the first trade. Market opens. We make a huge move down. We take out all of this internal liquidity, the London lows. I'm seeing us leave a perfect 1 minute gap just out in the open right here. This is super obvious. If we want to flip this and we want to continue higher, then it's going to happen. Don't forget, price is super quick. I'm sure there was a 30-second entry down here somewhere, but I don't personally like trading the 30-second just because it's so volatile. And I felt that it was obvious that we were going to continue higher. So on the next candle, you see that we close a pretty clean 1 minute closure. This is not ideal because we did take internal liquidity right here, but this is the high that I was kind of worried about. So I ended up taking this long right here, which just stops below this, and take profit obviously at the same weekly high. Would have been a better risk reward, a little bit of a riskier trade, but yeah, it would have been half size comparatively speaking. Now, what ends up happening is we trade higher immediately. And the second I see us sweep this high, I go break even, because if this wants to go, it's going to go. We cannot see any point of stoppage, any point where we want to, slow down or anything, because if that's the case, then we're going to get manipulated out of our entry, and then we're going to see the move go higher. Exactly what happens. I get break even, no problem at all. I'm patient. We're waiting to see what happens. My first trade was invalidated. Perfect, it happens. Second trade happens. I see that we're pushing down. Good that I went break even. I'm happy about that. We continuously see pushes down. If we had gotten this 1 minute flip right here, I would not have taken it because it would be trading against equal lows and it's super low probability. But thankfully, we ended up taking the equal lows and we just made very clean moves to the downside. Super, super clean moves all the way down. At this point, this is where I was thinking, okay, perfect. We're clearly opening up some type of higher time frame gap right here, which would end up being a 2 minute gap. This is going to be the point where if we respect this 2 minute gap, we're going to continue lower. If we don't respect this 2 minute gap, we're going to continue higher. What do we see? We see us form a perfect V-shaped reversal. Normally, I would take half riskier, but because we wicked all the way up into the 2 minute gap, I didn't want to, just in case we wanted to see some continuations lower. Then what do we see? We see price continue pushing higher. And obviously, I'm just waiting for my entry on the 2 minute. You'll see that we have this 2 minute gap. We didn't close above it, so I'm not taking that entry. Then we see a little bit of a retrace, which tells me, perfect. Is this going to be the time where we either flip this 1 minute gap and go lower, or we respect this 1 minute gap and go higher? What do? Tap into the gap, well, not once, but twice. Now I'm thinking, perfect. I want to see an engulfing closure above these highs in order for me to believe that this is going to be a reaction out of the hourly gap, not just a retrace. Next candle pushes way up, beautifully closing the 2 minute at the same time as well. So we flip the 2 minute at the same time, which essentially just adds a sprinkle on top. I would have taken this even if we didn't quite flip the 2 minute. Enter right there. We're in replay trading, so I'm not going to enter right there. So I enter right there. Stops below the swing low. Why below the swing low? I know we have a 1 minute gap respecting here, and I could have put my stops below this, but I had such high conviction, I felt like having a little bit of higher RR. Also, if we traded below this and then we made a move higher, I could have re-entered as well. Not a big deal. I put the swing low because I wanted to see us continuing to make higher lows and higher highs. And as you can see, price just makes a higher low, higher high. We hit the first take profit, which is right here. This New York AM high, I go break even. I could have taken first take profit all the way up here, but I felt like the New York AM high with this manipulation is a good enough point. And then my second take profit were these weekly highs all the way up here. And we just completely smashed through them, making it one of the best trades of the year, if not the best trade of the year. Honestly, I believe that this is the model that I need to look for. This is what you need to look for too. This is what's going to make you a millionaire, honestly. This is what is going to make you the best trader possible. You have to have patience. You cannot have anything other than patience. You have to be emotionless and everything. I could have easily entered down here. Didn't feel like it because I wanted to see a confirmation. That's the way that I trade. I'm sure other traders here today won because of that. I didn't. I follow my plan and my rules. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. We'll see if it's continuing to be a good week. I ended up making about $1,000 on the day. I'm very close to passing my accounts. And yeah, let's keep her going. I'll show you guys the live account as well, just so you guys can see that we did take a very good trade today. The exact same trade. And funny enough, I even got a better entry because I entered all the way down here. It just took me a little bit to get the account open. As I don't know if you guys will be able to see. Let me see if I can get the camera focused. Let me, yeah, so the camera is focused. Let me try to increase the size. So we ended up taking a $7 win. The account essentially is doubled, which is very good. And it is very solid that we're back up there. Hopefully we can continue taking good trades and we can continue seeing good profits. You know, I think the price is finally picking up again, giving us very clean structure. And, you know, it's the end of January, which makes sense. Hopefully this continues to be. And this is the process that I'm sticking to. All right.